worked at the golf course in Lewiston, and now I work at Lowe's
Okay.
in St. Charles.
Was it hard to get your first job?
No,
Yeah.
they had nobody, so I guess it's kind of easy with me.
A lot of places actually will give you a job pretty quickly. I mean, you just have to apply for the right job. You don't want to come in and say, "Hi, I'd like a teaching position in Lewiston," because then they'll be like, A, you're still in high school, and B, you need a degree to do that. That doesn't make any sense. You can't walk into the hospital and be like, "Can I have an application to be a doctor, please?" No, you can't. But if you want to work at Quick Trip, if you want to, Riverside has a lot of good first job opportunities, that kind of stuff. These are all good jobs to start with, and frankly, even a career if you want to make it into that. Okay, so we're going to do the first two. So a job application, Riley, tell me again, what's a job application?
It is a form explaining to the owners what you have done and what work experience you have.
Okay, so it's a form that gives your potential employer information about you. Again, that says a form that gives your potential employer information about you. Sometimes these forms are online, and sometimes they just give you like a piece of paper to fill out. It's usually pretty easy to find. Occasionally you might need a reference for a job. If anybody needs a reference, I'd be happy to be a reference for you. Usually they just either send me an email or contact me saying, "What do you think of this kid?" And I say, "Hire them, they're great." And then usually they hire you. What's an interview? Go ahead, Riley.
After you turn in the job application form, if they set to see you, they kind of work through it more verbally than them just reading the paper.
Mm-hmm. So these are, it's a meeting where your potential employer asks you questions. Okay, I've got 5 containers of Play-Doh over there, and I've also got some I'm a Winner signs. So, I'm going to give away 5 of these to people who can tell me a good interview question that somebody might ask you. A good interview question, something that an employer would want to know about you. So think about it for a second. I'm going to give you a second to think. Think of a couple questions. If you're going to raise your hand, somebody might steal your idea. Keep in mind that they're not going to ask you simple questions. They're not going to say, "And what is your name?" They already know your name. They're calling you in for an interview. They need to know more specific things about you. What kind of things would they want to know in an interview? Definitely not your favorite color. Although that's a lovely thing to know. All right, hands up. Play-Doh. Who wants to win a thing of Play-Doh? Come on, be brave. That's 5. All right, we're going to go with order then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Starting with number 5.
Where have you worked besides?
Yes, where have you worked besides here? That's definitely a great question. Why would they want to ask that?
So if you have any work experience.
Right, they can know if you have work experience, if you've worked a job before. Also, they might want to contact your previous employer and ask about you. Great job, grab a prize. Number 1. Why should we hire you? That's a hard question to answer. Anybody have a good answer to that?
Because I'm him.
Because I'm him. Oh, that's very impressive. A good answer to that question is knowing what the company is and why you want to work there. Not just to make money, but you also want to say stuff like, let's say you're working at Riverside, and you say, I'm interested in production, I wanna get some experience on a production line or working with people, that kind of thing. You don't want to just say, for the paycheck, and then like, walk away, right? Like, I mean, you wanna like, say something that's a little bit more impressive. Great job, Natalie. Number 4.
How many hours can you work or are you looking for?
That's definitely a question they're gonna ask, is when you're available to work. Do you want part-time work, do you want full-time work? Go ahead, Lincoln. How about number 2?
Yeah.
You're out?
Yeah.
Number 3?
When can you start?
When can you start? That's a good question, right? When are you available to start the job? Go get a prize. Anybody else wanna try one more? Go ahead, Riley.
Can you work on holidays?
Can you work on holidays? What if you can work on holidays? How does that help?
A lot of the time they give you time and a half.
Mm-hmm. Overtime pay, time and a half or double time, which means you get paid more because you're working on a holiday. Come grab a prize. Okay, you do have some homework tonight. It is going to be extremely brief, and I think you're going to get it done in the next 10 minutes. This is a partial job application, and you're gonna fill it out for me. You are gonna be honest in all of your answers, except for 2 things. 1, if you don't wanna write down your real address, that's fine. You can write 123 6th Street if you want to and make up where you live. Just so we're clear, I have all of your addresses in Schoology, or in JMC, so it's not like it's a big mystery to me, and I don't care where you live. But if you don't wanna write down your address, that's just fine, but I do want you to fill that part out, so you can make something up if you want. But the thing that I definitely want you to make up, I'm passing this out now, so everybody look. Do you see where it says position you are applying for? That is a contest. The person who comes up with the funniest job, the job that makes me laugh the most, tomorrow gets a prize. Okay? We're looking for a real, go ahead, make up a job. You can make up the most ridiculous job you can think of, and you're gonna write it in there. Let's talk really quick about your email address. Okay, so if your email address right now is bigballer69. Maybe you want a better email address to put on a job application. It is very easy to get a Gmail account. You've also got a school account, so that's probably the best one to put down right now. You want something that sounds professional or at least has your name in it. And go ahead and fill it out. Be honest. Previous employment. What if you've never had any previous employment? You can put nothing. You can also do things that you actually do. For example, if you've worked at your church for volunteer hours, you can just specify that it was a volunteer, but it is a position. If you've been a babysitter, that would be something also to write down. Yep.
What if they don't have a home phone?
You can write the same number for your home phone and cell phone. Education. You guys have not been to college yet that I know of. Anybody do PSEO classes? Okay. High school, you're just going to write the name and location and then what grade level you are currently at. When it says area of study, you don't need to put anything for that for high school level. When would you put something for area of study? College, when you're majoring in something, or when you're like a senior in high school and you're specializing in something. Like, if you're specializing in, what's that one class? Is it EMR? The emergency class that Kelly teaches? EMS. So you could write EMS down if you're specializing in that, or welding, or whatever that you're taking in class that you feel like you're specializing in. If you're a freshman, you're probably not specializing in anything yet, but if you're a senior, you might be trending towards metals classes, or ag classes, or math classes, or whatever. All right, you've got the last 8 minutes to work on this. This is due tomorrow.